Hello guys, this is Rishikeshan. I'm gonna explain on my project. I named it WeaFoodHer. This is about weather, food, and delivery impact. So, why I did this project? Let me come to the idea like where I did this project, like where it all started on. So I was ordering one night in snow, like because shifting from India to Colorado, it feels different. It's completely a different weather condition. So when I ordered food in one night, it was snowing also. So it shows an estimate of 30 minutes, but it almost took 2 hours for the food to get delivered, and almost the food was all like it'll be cold, obviously. So I wanted to know how weather affects the food delivery and the conditions, like how different weather conditions like have the delay factors on whatever we order on the food orders. And also sometimes when we order like in a large volume or like for a party or something, that how it affects, how weather affects on that also. So I was thinking on that and I was ready to make a project on it. So what I did was first in the data collection. So I just chose five major cities in the US, and then I took different weather sources. Like I actually use all free APIs like Open Meteo, NWS, ELP, and Kaggle. So Open Meteo for the weather data, and NWS for the weather data, and ELP and Kaggle for the food data. So automatically, I used New York, LA, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix. With a retry and outlier handling, I made the data out. So how, like, if I try to match both the weather and the food data together by matching the cities, wherever the temperature is not there, I found the nearest place and I matched with that temperature. Almost it will be a very negligible difference. So it's almost the same. So I matched the difference or that, like for example, if it is New York, I put a complete like average sampling of the temperature in different types of the cities, and I put it into New York. So we have five temperatures according to the five cities, and that's how it has been working. So this is the data collection part, and this is how the data looks. It has the restaurant ID, restaurant name, city, cuisine, latitude, longitude, the location, and how much deliveries it has, takeaways, temperature, precipitation, humidity, and wind speed. So calculating all these, I thought these were the required. This is my master data. I think these were the required features for whatever I am working on. And yep. So let's see. Yeah, this is what I was basically talking on. Like the gap filling techniques, like ensuring all has some data in it, so that the weather data, so like even though if we miss the things in weather data sources and food delivery prediction, it it is to be complete. Like wherever the data is not there, it has to be filled with something meaningful, and it doesn't create a negligible difference of the missing data. So I already told one example. I'll be moving on to the next part. Now let's move on to the clustering. So on this slide, we opted like three algorithms: k-means, dbScan, and hierarchical clustering to ensure robustness. So what is clustering basically? So clustering, it is an unsupervised technique which finds natural groups in your data, like without pre-labeled data also. So what we wanted to categorize was the weather. So we had four key features: rain probability, wind speed, temperature, and relative humidity. So when we tried to do all the three algorithms in k-means, we normalized all features to zero mean and unit variance. In dbScan, uh, like it is based on the local density as well as the labels part. So wherever the minimum points, such as the days that are extremely high, rainy or wind, we flagged we like a true storm, or like we flagged them as an outliers. And in hierarchical clustering, in similar way, we did to the k-means. So what we found, actually, we found like four cluster names, like according to the climate. So one was clear and mild, hot and humid, rainy and windy only. So what does, and we also found the proportion of days. 35% was clear and mild, and 18% was hot and humid, 30% was rainy and windy, and 17% of windy. So what I mean by clear and mild was temperatures were like light breeze and zero precipitation. In that time, delivery can maintain an optimal speed and traffic flows remain. So there was an average delay of 5 minutes on our baseline. In hot and humid, you know what is hot and humid, and there was a delay of 7.5 minutes, which is about 50% increase in our over clear days. And then later in rainy and windy, this was the most challenging, strongest, which had an average delay of double, like 12.3 minutes in average, confirming that rain and wind together creates a worse scenario for delivery speed. And even without rain, like the sustainable winds over like 20 km per hour in slow navigation, there was around 9.8 delays. So taking away rain and wind, especially combined, aren't just marginal factors. The weather regimes doubles or triples the average of the delivery delays. So, but considering in clear and mild, 5 minutes isn't a delay. Like I would say it's like a buffer. So, but when this affects, it's more. Now we also did predictive modeling. Predictive modeling, first we did simple models like naive Bayes and logistic. So it was fast to train and easy to explain whether the weather features contribute separate probability to the lateness, and then we multiply them together. And even ensemble methods like decision tree and AdaBoost, like they contribute whether if rain greater than 50%, if wind is greater than 50%, what is happening, like 15 km per hour, what is happening. So all the features were set, all the training models were performed, and this is what we got finally. So decision tree performed the most, and sorry, ADA boost and decision tree were like almost performing the most, and ADA boost with an accuracy of 94%. It was not mentioned here, but decision tree had a 92%, which means most of them are correct. So this combination of high classification accuracy and low regression error means we can reliably forecast whether how much deliveries will be late. So these were all the data which were present on the 5 cities basically. So how we can later proceed with like what changes we can do in the app or things to proceed. So now if you see this is what our major findings was, like weather conditions like heavy and rain, it delivery times was 20% to 30% affecting the customer experience. Obviously, if the thing which I explained, it was like 2 hours and the food was ultimately cold. So I won't I won't have a good customer satisfaction experience. And these were all the thing, like I already told, like rainfall and how mid weather and how all the weather patterns affected the delivery times. So we also tried this is particularly we tried on the April 12 weather. So we had a delivery, like it was a rainy and windy day. We had a delay prediction of plus 8%. So we tried adding 5 more uh, additional drivers to the fleet. Like for example, in that particular area, we tried increasing the delivery rate so that the drivers are near that area, and which reduced in like orders, like which as the late orders were reduced by 40%, and we get a more customer satisfactory rate. Yeah, that's what I was ultimately detecting. So depending on the area where we live in or the weather we live in, that's how we need to set up the app. And while giving an estimate in the app or estimate in like when the delivery time, we should add deliver like extra time according to the weather, and on not only like average of time according to the particular area. Like for example, boulder in snow is very hard. So on boulder, how it will affect. This is how this is what I propose. This is what driven delivery strategies which I proposed. Automated staff alerting and dynamic ETS for rainy days according to the location, which will help us in uh, doing reducing late orders. Route optimization strategy is like just basically where there are no tolls or like wind isn't that much, or basically that's just a negligible thing. But these four are the things I propose. And what are the challenges I faced? I did not have the road traffic condition data as well as the city level leverages as like live traffic feeds. If I could get some live weather and the traffic data, I could combine them and like make a detection and then do a clustering and prediction again so that we could see what is the real time difference that we get into the data. I think that's all in my project. I would I would like and all the details has been mentioned in the website. I would like to put the website in the presentation link as well as the thing. If you have any questions, you can ping me up on the project or comment below in the YouTube video.